It's going well. We've still got a solid 6 weeks left. I'm going to be sparring 8 rounds today, and sparring another 8 rounds, another 2 times over the next week, and every week until the fight comes. So, yeah, everything's on track.
And is that about right, sparring the 8 rounds? I mean, you know, I don't know these things, but obviously, you know, how far do you go the distance in terms of training?
Well, with this fight, you know, I don't think it's going to be too much of a challenge for me. So I don't really think I need to spar any more than 8 rounds. That's probably how long the fight's going to last. For guys that are a little bit more dangerous than Liam, I'd probably be sparring 12 rounds, but I think 8's more than enough for Liam Smith.
Oh, that sounds a little bit disrespectful, Chris.
No, come on, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just very confident, and I always know the man in front of me and what he's capable of. I'm very good at looking at a fighter, engaging what he can and can't do. And that's why I say I need to be about 50% of my full potential to be able to beat Liam.
Yeah, I hear that loud and clear. I know what you're trying to say there. Look, you have, though, teamed up with boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. for the fight. Why have you brought him in then if you're so confident?
Roy is a legend and he is a genius in the boxing game, inside and outside of the ring. I've always said that, you know, for the rest of my career, I'm going to have him in my corner, regardless of who I'm fighting. I want Roy around. He's great energy. He's a great person. He's a great human being, and he is, a special coach. I went many years throughout my career without having any coach. I was self-trained. And I finally came to the realization that once you get to a certain level, it's always good to have somebody that you can trust and somebody that you can count on when the going gets tough, because the going is going to get tough at the highest levels. And that man is Roy for me.
That's good to hear you say the going's going to get tough at the highest level, so you're kind of giving Smith a little bit there. What do you think are his strengths and weaknesses then, dare I ask?
He's very tough. He's very durable. He's very experienced. He knows his way around the ring. He's been doing this for a long time. He's been fighting just as long as I have. So, you know, you've got to respect a man that's had the amount of fights, the amount of experience that he has had. But I just feel like the energy, the passion, the fire that's inside of me is just going to be too much for him.
A victory against him, though, and I asked him the same question, you know, puts you firmly back in the mix for a world title shot. Is that how you see this fight? Is that what you want?
Absolutely, yeah. These next few years are, you know, these are the years that I have to win these titles. These are the years that I have to fight the big names. And this fight puts me securely in a position to go and challenge for those wild titles at middleweight. And you know, if I can get a shot at Canelo at super middleweight, I will go up. I fought at super middleweight for 3 years, even though I'm not naturally a super middleweight. But that is a fight that I would go up for. But the thing is, there's so many big names in the middleweight division, in and around my weight. You know, I just have to be active, and that's why we're getting this fight on early, January 21st. And then I'll fight again the summer and the winter. I want to be active. I want to fight at least 3 times next year.
Kind of, you know, packing them all in. What, you're 33, 34 now? You know, how long have you got left in the tank, do you think, Chris?
Yes, I'm 33. I'm not 34 until September next year, and I've got a whole lot left in the tank. I see myself fighting at the highest levels for at least another 3, 4, 5 years minimum. My father, he retired at 32, which is crazy to think, because, you know, I remember being 32 last year and how much energy I had then and how much energy I have now. It's just, retirement is just so far out of my thought process. I live the life, I'm clean, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. You know, I party here and there, but, you know, in general, I live a great and healthy lifestyle. I'm responsible, I don't blow up in weight. So that means I'm going to be able to go on and fight, I think, until I'm at least 38, 39, maybe even 40.
That's impressive. It's nice to hear you party a little, though. You've got to have those little vices, haven't you? Look, going back to Liam, he told us in the last hour that he doesn't think you are clever enough to succeed kind of at world level. What do you make of what he says then?
Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I don't make anything of what my opponents say pre-fight because I've heard it all. I've heard this talk a million times. You know, I'm going to knock you out. You can't box. You can't jab. You're not skilled enough. You know, all these guys, they say all the same things leading up to these big fights. And then when it actually comes down to the crunch time, when that bell goes, all the words, they flutter away and they just end up getting dominated by the better fighter in me. I've seen it time and time again, and it's going to be no different on January 21st against Liam Smith.
All right then, so this question then, why did you put a rematch clause in then if you're that confident you're going to win it?
Oh my God, you're not doing the rematch clause like talking as well, are you?
I've got to do it, that's what Liam said, come on.
No, listen, let Liam talk his terrible talk before a fight. Don't get sucked into all of that. A rematch clause means absolutely nothing. It's part of the business. In every big fight, there's always rematch clauses. My promoter put that in just because that's what promoters do. They make sure that they cover all bases. He wants to use that as kind of a thing to say, oh well, you know, if I'm going to be so easy, then why would you have a rematch clause? Take the rematch clause out if it makes you happy. I don't care about that. It's completely irrelevant. On January 21st, Sky Sports box office, Liam Smith is going to get a serious lesson in manners from me.
Look, I've got two more questions for you, and I hope the line's a little bit breaky, but I'm going to go with it. What does Christmas look like for you? First of all, I think you're quoted as saying that you're not going to miss your Christmas lunchroom. Does that still stand? Absolutely
not. I'm going to have the Christmas dinner. I'm having the turkey, the stuffing, even the little sausages with the bacon wrapped around it. I'm having all of that. Brussels sprouts, gravy. You know, I'm going to have a little party on New Year's. We're not sacrificing too much for this guy. Like I said, 50% is going to be enough to beat him. So I'm going to enjoy my holiday season. I have to.
All right, my final question then. What round does he go down in then?
No, we don't do that. We don't pick rounds. We don't predict. There's too many things that can change. You know, every time I think a fight's going to go a certain way, it never does. So I learned very early on not to pick rounds and say this is going to happen then. But I do know that the fight will be very exciting. You have two fighters that are extremely tough, resilient, both got good chins, both come forward, and both have a lot of pride. So that makes for a very exciting fight for the fans to watch. It's not going to be boring. It's going to be blockbuster. It's going to be a fight I think that you can rewatch over and over again. And I'm excited.
All right, my producer said I'm allowed one more, so this is my final question then, Chris. Look, you said ahead of your cancelled fight with Conor Benn that if you lost, you would retire. If you lost, and I know it's a big if, would you consider retiring?
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing the if you lose, are you going to? We're not answering that. We're not bringing that energy into the universe. I don't speak anything like that into existence. That was a one-off with Conor. I will win this fight. I will progress. I will proceed to fight better fighters and great fights all around the world. That's my mindset. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you as well. Good luck with it. It's always good to catch up with you. Thanks, Chris.